Hey, what's up, guys? How are we all doing? Guys, come on, you're missing the action. Come on, guys. The break is over. No more break. Okay, everybody can see my screen. Great. How are we all doing? Woo! How is DevConnect so far? How is the gaming summit? How cool are the 1KX t-shirts, by the way? ERC420 blaze it. Let's go. Okay, so I'm CJ. I'm the co-founder of Atlantis World and also the product lead. And the talk today is entitled Building a Grassroots Metaverse. People are getting really tired of me saying this, but I'm going to say it again. I'm sorry. We're building the Web3 social metaverse by connecting Web3 with social, gaming, and education in one lightweight virtual world that's accessible to everybody. But what does that, actually mean? So imagine you have a pixel, mobile-ready metaverse that can be accessed on mobile, so it's in your pocket, or even on an old laptop, essentially on any device from anywhere in the world. And the general thinking is that you will take your little 2D pixel character, for example, into a DeFi bank, and you will talk with an NPC inside of the game that will teach you about how to deposit into DeFi, so how to use DeFi applications. And that will actually be a quest. So imagine, it's fully gamified. You go inside of, for example, the Yearn bank, and you deposit in-game, and you earn, it's a quest. So you earn, for example, it could be a token incentive. So users could actually be earning crypto for learning how to use crypto applications inside of the game. You might earn an NFT badge. So boom, you have a badge that says, guess what? You swap tokens using 1inch, so now you have a badge that says you're proficient at using 1inch. Or it might be some kind of perk or power-up in-game. For example, if you will vote in the 1inch DAO, because DAO voting is also enabled inside of Atlantis World, you'll be able to fly around the 1inch city on a unicorn, right? Because you have some in-game perk for engaging in DAO governance. In terms of blockchains, imagine that you'll go into the Polygon headquarters or the Avalanche headquarters for the first time, and you've never used that blockchain before, right? We essentially have rebuilt Chainlist inside of the game. So with 3 or 4 clicks, users can actually connect to a brand new RPC, a brand new blockchain inside of their MetaMask wallet with 3 or 4 clicks inside of the game. Again, a quest. They can earn some in-game perk or power-up or reward. They can earn a token incentive. They can earn an NFT badge. Or it might even be a wearable. They might earn some wearable. So they might have some t-shirt which says they've connected to the Polygon or Avalanche or Celo blockchain or Near blockchain on the Aurora EVM for the first time. Users can also vote in DAOs. So this is the Honey DAO building. Carlo just ran inside of there. So imagine actually transforming DAO governance to be a social thing inside of the game. It becomes a social event. You drop into a token-gated voice chat inside of your DAO clubhouse, right? Everybody's there together. You discuss. You have the discourse around governance. And then you vote in the DAO inside of the game. And then also, again, you earn some incentive, whether that's an NFT badge, a token reward, or some kind of in-game perk or power-up. So whilst building Atlantis World, from the very beginning, we really decided to go the hard route and do our best to enable a community-owned public good. And that links back to the title of the talk today, which is Building a Grassroots Metaverse. So we were actually able to generate over $1 million in revenue from our fantastic community in the first 7 months of building without taking a single dollar from any investors. So we've had no VC funding. Obviously, that has a lot of challenges in of itself. Capital comes much slower, and it's much harder to scale your team. But we've managed to scale to over 14 core contributors in the first 10 months, and we're getting ready to publicly launch our alpha. So the alpha, you saw some glimpses and some clips from inside of there, and it's going really well. And we have a lot of features. And this kind of whole, I would say, movement or approach of being kind of grassroots and community kind of driven and funded has really been enabled by grants in Web3, and that's something that I really want to touch on. So we've been supported by some of the best players from around the Web3 stack with grant funding, and it's this fantastic thing which I think doesn't necessarily exist in Web2 unless there is some kind of governmental grant which might take 8 months and you might get 20K, but it's honestly not worth the time. The thing about the Web3 is that we're such a supportive community, and we really enable each other to build and build on top of each other, right? So we're really trying to build the Web3 super app with Atlantis World, and we've so far received grants from some of the top players around the ecosystem, like Yearn, Bouncer, 1inch, Perpetual Protocol, Polygon, Celo, Avalanche, Near. There is a whole host of them, and we're really grateful for that. And that's essentially led to us being fueled by our ecosystem partner network with the grant funding support. but also by our community of founding Atlanteans. So here you can see some of our ecosystem. Many of them here did actually support us with grants. You can see a lot of DAOs. So like I was talking about, transforming DAO voting to a social event in-game, which actually has perks, power-ups, rewards, and incentives. We think it's really powerful. And we're essentially just integrating apps from all around the Web3 stack in a very novel way inside of Atlantis World, and then actually teaching users how to use those applications in an inherently fun and engaging way. That could be anything from DeFi, so for example, the Aave Bank. You go inside of there, you learn about Aave, you deposit into Aave. We actually won a hackathon prize from Aave last year, and I think Stani was like less than the first 300 people inside of our Discord server, and we received a lot of support. You can also trade NFTs inside of Atlantis World, and again, earn incentives and badges and power-ups for doing it. And you can connect to new blockchains. And actually, if you don't have a crypto wallet, this is coming very soon. You'll be able to build your first ever crypto wallet or create your first ever crypto wallet inside of the game, and again, earn something for doing it, right? So we really believe that incentives move mountains, and we really believe that that interactive learning is the way to go to onboard up to billions of users into Web3. So how can you get involved? You can join our community at discord.gg/AtlantisWorld and participate in some of our events. You can help us to test the alpha. So we have a POAP. It's going to be on screen. We're also going to be running around. You can scan it, and it will give you the access because we have a closed launch right now, which is only for our founding Atlanteans, if you will. But we have the POAP, so you can scan it. You can come and play. You can join our Discord, and then you can contribute ideas and share some of your feedback. If you want to kind of speed run and expedite that process, you can also become a founding Atlantean by acquiring a scroll on OpenSea. Or in any kind of way that you want. It's not actually on LuxRare because it's on Polygon, but I will say I'm relatively bullish on LuxRare. You can join our growing ecosystem partner network. So I know this is a builders conference. If there are builders here who are building exciting application at the forefront of the Web3 stack, please do talk to us because we'd love to discuss how we might integrate you and build this gamified onboarding framework around your application. And also a real kind of passion of ours is making it so that any developer, any application, any Web3 org essentially in future can build, deploy, and maintain their own application inside of Atlantis World, which we think is incredibly powerful. And also stay tuned, guys. We're coming up very soon with an Atlantean character launch. So you're going to be able to upgrade your character, your avatar, inside of the game over time and change actually the attributes using some novel NFT tech. And that will also be customizable with wearables. And you'll also be able to earn different wearables and be gifted different wearables inside of the game from using applications and completing different quests. So DevConnect, if you do want to test our alpha, you can scan this and claim your POAP. Right now, I'll give you all some time to do that. Hopefully it works from so far away. If not, you can come and find me or any of our team. We're going to be around trying to give you all POAPs. So please do scan and take it away. Nice work, guys. Does it work? It works? It doesn't work? It's a bit tricky. OK, you can find us. You can find us, guys. Don't worry about it. Please find us. I would love to open up the floor. Does anybody have actually any questions for me or for the Atlantis World team? Please. Yeah, so you can actually have I think it's an ERC 721 can have ERC 1155 child NFTs. And you can basically configure that so you upgrade the core attributes over time, and then equip additional ERC 1155s for stuff like wearables and game items and equipable game items as well. Yes, definitely. So we've integrated Snapshot. That's already done. So if you'll collect your POAP and you go out and test the alpha, you'll see that you'll be able to open the Snapshot dashboard and essentially vote in any kind of Snapshot DAO, which is live right now. And then also we've integrated some custom governance contracts. So for example, DX DAO, we're in the process right now of integrating DX Vote. And we'll do that for a number of different projects and protocols and communities in the space so that they can have this token-gated voice chat inside of their customized HQ building, vote in the DAO inside of the game on this voice chat, and also earn some reward for doing that. And as a part of our founding Atlantean collection, we are also launching the Atlantean DAO. And the theory there is to just start introducing some governance themes and experiments with the community, because we don't see right now that there is one model that might potentially make sense for the complete decentralized governance of Atlantis World. But we're passionate about that. We've taken no VC funding, and we're moving in the direction of empowering our community. Also, I think for me, it's going to be really exciting in future to see some hybrid model. If right now we're trying to build the Web3 super app, so we have the central district of Atlantis World, which is intended as like the lively capital city of the internet, where you can run into a bunch of different banks or NFT marketplaces, right? It has this Web3 driven real world utility inside of the metaverse. The general thinking is that if this kind of district will be, active and capture some value, there could potentially be like an annual tribute to occupy a plot in a specific district. And then this will be governed by everybody else who lives in the district. So it's like basically a community-governed DAO treasury for each specific kind of community or area of land within Atlantis World that can actually be self-sufficient. And then us as the core team can continue to ship, the core upgrades and make changes, also being kind of like self-funded and self-sufficient. So there is going to be some hybrid model in the near future. Keen to explore all of the models that might make sense in the future in terms of decentralized governance, and keen to just basically boost participation in DAOs as a whole across the ecosystem by integrating Snapshot and a bunch of custom governance contracts, and then linking that to the in-game perks, power-ups, rewards, tokens, and social events. Do we have any more questions? Here's one. Yeah, definitely. So we believe that we have designed the value capture mechanism for virtual land, and we have never actually shared about that before, but I think it's really important that we should start to approach virtual land in a different way to that we approach land in the real world. And I think that's the mistake that everybody makes, right? Actually, land in the virtual environment can be almost infinitely replicated. So I think it's really important that it will capture value in some way. We think the way that might make sense to approach that is by populating, these districts with different applications, different projects, different communities, different DAOs, DeFi banks, NFT marketplaces, DAO tools, etc. And then once the land has captured some value and retained some attention, we might then introduce what I was discussing about some annual tribute to the community-governed DAO treasury. So everybody who actually will occupy this district has like a financial backing to develop and grow their little ecosystem further. And then in future, we might actually launch free-to-occupy districts inside of Atlantis World. Once we've figured out more the customizability elements and made it so that any developer can actually launch and maintain their own application inside of Atlantis, it might then be that we'll launch a free-to-occupy district. So imagine in the real world, you open a part of the city and you say, here are a bunch of shops, put your logo on it, launch kind of your brand or whatever you want to do there. It might even be a co-working space, could even be some kind of art gallery, or it might be a Web3 application, and actually occupy that for free. How much culture is that going to facilitate and enable? So that's the way that we're trying to kind of like approach capturing value backwards and actually build something relevant and build a community around that first. And then we might introduce some tribute so that every person who lives there can have a say in the future of that district and actually have some financial backing to drive and develop that further. Hi. Yes, definitely. So we really want to enable that, as soon as we possibly can. Right now, we're just focused on kind of populating the central district of Atlantis World. And basically, actually, our dev team is integrating applications, and our design team is kind of building the ecosystem. But in future, we want to make it really easy for users to customize their plot or their land and build something within the world, because we think that's really key for scalability. And also a problem that we've had with integrating applications ourselves is that in the middle of the integration, protocol might ship a v3 or a v4, right, in the middle. And it kind of sets us back a lot because we have to start handling the integration scripts again. So a really key thing, I think, for the long-term survival of Atlantis World and what that will enable us to thrive is actually enabling any developer to launch and then maintain their application. But it's a tricky one. We're working on it. It seems impossible now, but we stopped asking if something is possible at Atlantis World, and instead we just try and do it. And we're trying really hard, and we're going to do it. I promise you that. It might take us some time, but it's coming soon. I'm not sure how much time we have. Maybe we can get one more question. Do we have one more? Come on, guys. We must have one more.
If not, Thank you, CJ.
Okay.
For bring us back to life.
Sure, man. It's my job. It's my job. Thank you so much, everybody. Please visit. Please join our Discord. Please follow us on Twitter. Please find us. Scan your PO app so that you can drop in and play the alpha. And we really appreciate your support and your feedback. Thank you.
Awesome. So next is